Her lawyer's voice was smooth, rehearsed. My client's husband is a low-level mechanic with a history of disappearing. He is unfit for custody. The words echoed against the paneled courtroom walls like hammer blows. My wife didn't look at me. She didn't need to. She had already won in her mind. Then she said, almost softly, like a final stab, "Even he didn't attend my mother's funeral." I looked at her. She knew why I wasn't there, but she also knew I couldn't prove it. Not yet. That's when the bailiff stepped forward, his hand half raised. "Your Honor," he said, "there's a man from the State Department here. He says it's urgent." And the courtroom froze. A man in a crisp gray suit walked in. No emotion, no hesitation. He carried a folder sealed with a red insignia. I leaned back in my chair. I didn't smile, but my pulse slowed. Right on time. We met 12 years ago at a garage on 8th Street. I was changing brake pads on her father's car when she walked in, pretending to need directions. She smelled like summer and expensive things. I remember thinking she didn't belong anywhere near oil or sweat or men who worked with their hands. But she laughed at my jokes, brought me coffee the next day. I didn't realize then that she liked how I looked at her, like she was something rare, something out of reach. I built her a life, bought a house, painted it blue because she said it looked hopeful. Every dent I fixed, every late shift I took, it was for her and the boy we had 2 years later. For a while, I believed we were unbreakable, until I started coming home to silence. It began small. She'd text less, hide her phone face down, start arguments over things that didn't matter, dishes, receipts, the smell of grease on my clothes. Then one night, while cleaning the kitchen, I saw the wine glass, one extra, still wet in the rack. We hadn't shared a bottle in months. A week later, I found the hotel receipt. Her name wasn't on it, but the date was right, and the card number was hers. I didn't confront her. Not then. People think betrayal breaks you. It doesn't. It sharpens you. I started watching, not stalking, observing. The routes she took, the calls she made, the names that came up in conversation. Eric from marketing, just a colleague. I met Eric once, shook his hand at a company barbecue. He looked at me like I was something beneath his shoe. That night, I stopped drinking. Stopped sleeping much, too. My mind was clear and quiet. The night of her mother's funeral, I was in Warsaw. Or at least, that's what my flight record showed. In truth, I was in a warehouse in Delaware, helping a friend from my old unit finish a job. Before I was a mechanic, I was something else, something the state doesn't write down. Operations that never made the news, disappearances that weren't accidents. She never knew that part of me. I made sure of it. When the betrayal came, I realized it could be useful again. I called in one favor. Just one. A man named Patel, who owed me his life from Kabul 2013. He worked at the State Department now. Cyber Intel. The kind of man who could make or erase a record with a keystroke. We met in a diner off Route 50. He didn't ask questions. I slid a photo across the table. Eric from marketing. Patel nodded once. Within 2 weeks, Eric's financials told the whole story. Offshore transfers, falsified consulting payments, and a little company registered in my wife's maiden name. Fraud, tax evasion, enough to ruin them both. But I wasn't after ruin. I wanted precision. I wanted her to feel the floor shift under her feet. When the custody hearing was scheduled, I played my part. I came in looking tired, wore the same gray suit I used for job interviews. Let her lawyer describe me as unstable. I watched her nod along, so calm, so sure. She thought this was the last step before she erased me from our son's life. Then the bailiff spoke. The man from the State Department entered and handed the judge the folder. He murmured something. The judge's eyes widened. My wife's lawyer frowned. "Your Honor, is there a problem?" The judge didn't answer immediately. He read, lips tightening. Then he looked at her. "Mrs. Carver, it appears you are listed as a managing partner in an active federal investigation into shell corporations used for embezzlement." She went pale. Her lawyer turned to her, whispering, frantic. She stammered, "That's impossible." I didn't move. I just watched her world tilt. The man in the suit stepped forward. "We'll need to speak with Mrs. Carver privately, Your Honor." The judge nodded, cleared his throat, and glanced at me. Mr. Carver, given the circumstances, the court sees no reason to question your custody claim. I met her eyes then, for the first time in months. There was no anger in them now, only confusion, fear. She mouthed something. What did you do? I didn't answer.